Welcome back to Octopath Traveler 2. We're going to head back to Wellgrove. And we got Porticio's Chapter 3 to do. He's the next lowest recommended level. And he's my main character, so he's always going to be in the party. So I don't really need to change anything. I'm going to switch out Agnia though. Yeah, let's bring in Casty, I guess. You need to get her up some levels, so helps to keep everybody leveled up and everything. Make her scholar, I guess. Sub-scholar. I'm gonna wait until I learn this. That's the same one it was in Octopath Traveler 1. This is insane. Doter's Charity. Like, that is insane. That's like one of the best, that was like one of the best divine skills in part 1. Because you could use the one healing item that, like, you had that one effect where you can go over 9,000, or you could increase your max HP. The skill that increases your max HP when you use an item, whenever you heal at full HP, and you can get yourself up to like 9,999 HP. You can also, one of the items restored your BP all the way up to 5. It was pretty insane, and you could have those effects hit the entire party. It was insane. So I plan to do that in this. We definitely need to get Doter's Charity. Porticio Chapter 3. It's been a while since we did Porticio's chapter. Porticio signed a contract with the industry magnate Rock. If Porticio can come up with 80 billion leaves, Rock will sell the rights to the steam engine to him. Porticio travels to Wellgrove to speak with the wealthy noble Alrond, a potential financer. I don't know why they went with 80 billion leaves, though. I mean, come on. That's insane.
Oh, so this is Wellgrove. This is where I'm supposed to find that Alron fella, richest noble in the West. Right, time to put on my best smile and charge on in. You just wait, Alron. I'm coming to find you. I heard this was the most hopping commerce hub in all the continent, but kinda quiet here, ain't it? I barely see a soul. Well, might as well check out the town while I try to find this Alron.
Alright. Look around town. Got bought everything here, but we'll see if anybody needs an upgrade. I can get this for Casty. It'll lower her speed, but it'll boost her defense. Only by a little bit though, but it does give her 100 HP. Might as well max out on these.
Excuse me, can I interest you in a statue made of the purest silver? It's a genuine Ores Rush article, and I've got the appraisal papers to prove it.
Wow, it's beautiful. How much?
Each of these is currently going at the low price of 500,000 leaves.
I'd pass if I were you. Genuine silver? Ah, bunch of hogwash.
How dare you? That's a baseless claim.
Real silver's delicate. Leave it out in the sun and it blackens. It ain't sparkling or darkening, so it's probably just a bunch of scrap iron.
Just who are you?
Partitio, at your service. A simple traveling merchant who hails from Ores Rush. This is what real Ores Rush silver looks like. Don't forget it.
Damn!
I owe you one. It seems you have a wealth of knowledge at your disposal.
Of course I do. Erudition is the heart and soul of commerce.
Spoken like a true merchant. Please, let me treat you to a drink as a token of my thanks. How about a shot of spirits? Our town is renowned for its drink.
Ooh, that sounds mighty nice. Sure. By the by, were you searching for something back there?
No, nothing in particular. Just a spot of treasure hunting. I stop by the stalls now and then, hoping to find one. Not that I have an eye for it.
Ah, that's a worthy pastime. No one's born with an eye for value. You gotta train it.
I've lived in this town for a long time, you know. Once upon a time, it was filled with happy people and fine goods. It was a lively place.
Times, they're always changing, huh?
I wish the only spirits that went down the hatch in our town were the drinks. Partitio, why did you come here?
I'm looking for someone. Goes by the name of Alron.
The Alron? He's one of the wealthiest people in all the West. I hear he wipes his backside with silk handkerchiefs.
Silk kerchiefs? I couldn't afford to do that if I spent all my days mining silver. Think he'd be willing to sell those kerchiefs? I'd even buy them used.
Ew. Look, what I'm trying to say is, he lives in a different world from the rest of us. His time's too valuable to meet with just anybody. Unless you prove your worth, you're out of luck.
Yeah, makes sense. Man cleans his rump with silk. Still, I wish I knew how to get in contact with him.
I may know a way. But Alrond knows business like a refined palate knows foie gras. He might agree to meet with you if you had some distinguished achievement to point to.
That's so. Guess I still haven't made much of a name for myself. But like Pop's always said, haste makes waste, and you can't sell a horse without a herd. Mind waiting for just a bit? I'll be back in a jiffy.
I'm excited to see what mercantile magic trick you perform. Until then, I'll be here, drinking.
Okay, so we have to do the Son of Commerce. This is a story starring Patricio, who has called the Scent of Commerce. So I need to travel every path before him, but doing so may aid you in your travels.
Ah, Particio. Have you achieved?
But like mine.
Until then.
Alright, so we have to go do the Scent of Commerce. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't know it forced me to do it, so there's one here in Sai. So we'll do that one, I guess. This one was up on the hill, right? Yep, over here.
As a merchant, there is one treasure I value above all else. Bring it to me.
I don't know if I could do that one right now. Where's another one at? Gee, this one maybe? We started a lot of these, but we never finished them. Oddly, a merchant dealing only in the unusual. He has procured curious wares like a puppet that automatically toasts at parties and a dog-shaped threading machine, which he thought would never sell, and subsequently never did. Nevertheless, he has been able to stay in business because of the occasional big hit among them. Is it post-haste once you hire a musician? Need guidance on where to look? Musicians can be found in Flame Church, Crack Ridge, Kennelbrun. I'd recommend trying there. Flame Church. Thousand Blades. Octopath Bull. Okay, so, oh, we had to give him the candles, okay. So let's go ahead and give him the 3 candles. That'll complete this quest. Perfect. Should be plenty to keep. Once we put these candles in place, the pilgrimage will be covered by their protection. Allow me to convey my appreciation in our pilgrim's place. Thank you. 5,000 leaves and a fortifying nut and a tough nut. I guess I'm about to look up these Scent of Commerces to figure out what I gotta do. Should be able to find it pretty quickly here. There's not that many of them, so it shouldn't take that long to look up. And if it ever load. Yeah, there's 3 of them. Have we even completed one? I don't know if I've even completed one of them. I don't think I have. You need 100,000 leaves to do it, which we have. We have 346,000, in fact. Okay. Okay, I guess I'll do the one in Sai. So, we had to go hire Masoon's daughter. Masoud's daughter or whatever. Alright, we had to go to the well in Sai. And we'll find his daughter. I don't know where the well's at. Grab his chest. I don't know why I didn't get that earlier, but... Where is there a well at? Oh, right here. So we have to hire this person here. Alright, I'll follow you.
As promised, I brought you your treasure, Masood.
You did you? Show me.
Your greatest treasure is her, your daughter.
Incorrect. Try again.
What?
It is true that many value their family above any jewel or gem. But that is not the answer that I am seeking for this particular test. Better luck next time.
Nation. I was sure I had it.
What is this test that Father gave you?
Huh?
What Father meant wasn't his treasure in particular, but what a merchant treasures most. The thing you treasure most as a merchant isn't leaves or sundries, right?
Merchant's treasure.
That's all the hints you'll get from me. Good luck.
What do I treasure as a merchant? Like she said, not leaves or sundries, that's for sure. That's it. My greatest treasure is me. In which case, Masood must feel the same way, too. It's worth a shot, anyhow.
Yeah, so the answer is to hire him. So to hire Masood. Or is he going to set you back 5,000? He has a terrible ability too, so he's definitely not worth keeping.
You want to hire me? What is the meaning of this insult, Mr. Nobody?
I figured out your treasure, fella. It's you, yourself. You asked me to find the treasure you value most as a merchant. I figure every merchant's got one treasure they set store by above all else. Connections they've built, book learning and experience. All these things are far more valuable than any material object, leaves included. Or am I wrong?
Correct. I'm surprised you got it.
Of course I did. My greatest treasure's the same as yours, after all. Besides, your daughter gave me a friendly push in the right direction. If I couldn't find the answer after all that, I'd have no right to call myself a merchant.
I am honestly astonished that there are still merchants in this world who know how to see to the heart of matters. There have been dozens like you who have come here seeking my Mercantile Manuscript. Every one of them failed this test and went home empty-handed. I started to think the world had gone dull since I retired. Here, take it.
What's this?
The key to the archive in which I placed my Mercantile Manuscript. Read to your heart's content.
Yippee! You sure it's all right?
I've grown old. I don't have much time left. When I pass, so too will my greatest treasure, correct? So I might as well pass on a part of that treasure to you, Particio the merchant. The sum treasure of those who came before you.
You got it, fella. Thank you.
Mercantile Manuscript Archive Key. The Mercantile Manuscript, you can now pursue the Mercantile Manuscript in the archives. The records are full of information documented by Masood. You never know what knowledge you may glean about items, equipment, and more. No, I'm saving points for her. Let's see, where do I go to the archives at? What? Masood, his answer, the thing Masood values most is himself. I don't know how to do it. The key to the archives where Masood stores the mercantile menu. Oh, okay, probably this. Yeah, okay. Right here. History of... So you can get the history of the other... of the different continents and everything. Demi-humans are creatures that resemble humans and yet are entirely different beasts. There are 8 major types currently known: the verminous ratkin, the reptilian lizardmen, the avian birdians, the amphibian frogins, the simian apes, the subterranean moles, the feline kate, and the cephalodon octopuffs. Demi-humans have displayed a propensity for much higher levels of intelligence than monsters and are known to employ tools to some extent in their daily lives. Yet to this day, their origins remain shrouded in mystery. According to the histories, they simply appeared one day as if by magic throughout the world. On Kates. Kates are a skittish race, the most timid of all the demi-humans. According to myth, there was once a great war fought between humanity and the demi-humans. The conflict was long and bloody, but in the end, humanity emerged the victor. Their wisdom or foresight, the Kate alone sided with mankind during the strife, and alliance won them a place within human society. Unfortunately, the clever and cunning nature of the Kate soon earned them the ire of their neighbors, and before long they found themselves ostracized and cast out, labeled as traitors by demi-human and human societies. The Kate withdrew from both to pursue isolated lives, hidden away from all who might do them harm. The smell of beloved, delicious catnip seems to be the only thing that can draw them out of the hidden places they call their homes. All about octopuffs. Octopuffs are the most independent of all the demi-humans and are the only ones that chose not to participate in the mythological war between humanity and the demi-humans. They are known to prefer travel to battle, and it is said that they only stop their wanderings when their time on this earth is over. There are many superstitions surrounding the octopuff. Their passion for travel and idealistic search for paradise has led some to believe they are symbols of good fortune. There are even rumors that only those pure of heart can encounter them. Of course, adults who have long ago lost the innocence of childhood can still employ cunning to improve their odds of encountering these rare creatures. Octopuffs favor small, dark spaces, and so the shrewd use octopuff pots to draw them out. Reach for the next shelf. Riddles of the demi-humans. All demi-humans possess a certain modicum of intelligence. For example, ratkin are known to steal and employ human weaponry and clothing. Birdians possess the ability to craft primitive stone axes. And yet a burning question remains unanswered. Who fabricated the crowns and the other ornaments that demi-human leaders are often seen wearing? As far as we know, demi-humans do not possess the technology or art to craft such intricate accessories. We're curious, yet both the make and material of these ornaments are clearly not of human design. So where did they come from? Where, for that matter, did the demi-humans themselves come from? This is merely a theory without any evidence to support it, but perhaps these strange creatures hail from another world entirely. The Great Wall in myth and legend. Guarding the town of Stormhall in the Winterlands is the Great Hall, a colossal construction that has long kept the town safe from external threats. A local legend states this massive fortification was raised in a single night by the gods themselves. Sturdy and strong, yet intricate in its design, it is clear that this wall is indeed a feat of engineering beyond what modern civilization is capable of. The legend of this wall continues thus. The Great Wall is merely one small segment of some greater fortress. In the central citadel itself lies deep underground. Many archaeologists have spent years attempting to uncover this hidden redoubt to no avail. More curious is the event that occurred some 820 years ago. An enormous cavity suddenly appeared in the Great Wall, though None know who created it or how, later given the name of the Pit of Dark Quest. It was the catalyst for a conflict between the fallen kingdoms of Fajal and Delstash. The struggle would later be known as the War of the Great Wall. Gate to the Netherworld. The poet Kate penned this message some 100 years ago. On an island lost in sea split, twain lies a portal to an alien plane. Beware, be warned, ye fools who approach, for none should draw near this gate, encroach. When Kell first published this passage, it was assumed this island was a mere figment, the product of the poet's overactive imagination. However, in recent years, Kell's less well-known history as an adventurer has come to light, and scholars have begun to debate whether his poems were not fantasy, but in fact the annals of his travels. A warning for you who reads this entry: though the existence of a portal to an alien plane seems preposterous, we must remember that what seemed impossible yesterday becomes common sense tomorrow. Sneer at what you don't understand at your own peril, for one day you may find yourself on the wrong side of the truth. On weaponsmithing, there exist only 6 primary weapon categories: swords, polearms, daggers, axes, bows, and staves. Actually, this is not an accurate statement. Bound by the rules of the Blacksmith Guild, the manufacture of weapons outside of these 6 categories is strictly forbidden. Why limit the scope of human imagination? Religion, of course. The 6 weapon types are those voted by the gods, and they will tolerate no other, or at least that's the lie disguising the greedy truth. The fact is, it is much easier to monopolize the materials and techniques for arms production if you can limit what can be made, or so a little bird told me. Anyway, whatever the truth is, this prohibition has resulted in very few wielders of whips, flails, and so on. Enchanted and magical weapons. Among the many weapons one may find in this world, some are imbued with magical properties. These enchanted weapons are both rare and powerful. There are 2 primary means of crafting an enchanted weapon. The first sounds simple in principle, but is in fact quite difficult to achieve. Few craftsmen possess the necessary skill. Simply put, magic must be carefully folded into the weapon during the forging process. The second method is much rarer and harder to replicate. These enchanted weapons gain their power naturally. Their magic imbued over many years of use by a gifted wielder. Very few of these have documented, and it is thought that only those with incredibly powerful wills can make these miraculous weapons spring into being. Ornamentation. What is ornamentation? Literally interpreted, it refers to ornaments worn for fashion, like a big floppy garish hat. This assumption is a common one, but it is in fact erroneous. The truth of the matter is that ornamentation refers only to special jewels crafted by dedicated sacred craftsmen. Only a handful of leaders are permitted to wear these ornamentations, partially because many of them are imbued with unique magical properties. Prime examples would be an amulet that protects against offensive magic, or a necklace that greatly increases the abilities of its wearer. Unfortunately, the knowledge and techniques needed to craft these potent relics are slowly being lost, and the rarity is only bound to increase as the sands of time continue to fall. Battle-tested armament. So this was, if you played Octopath Traveler 1, you know about the battle-tested gear. It's like the ultimate weapons in the game. To the victor go the spoils, a long-standing tradition adhered to by those who live by the sword. the stronger take from the strong until at last the day comes when the ultimate warrior and ultimate weapon are united. When a weapon has triumphed over countless foes, remaining undefeated in the hands of a single skilled wielder, it becomes what is known as battle-tested armament. Nowhere it is written that these armaments must be masterwork weapons crafted by a renowned smith. No, these weapons are forged in the fires of battle. As they taste the blood of innumerable mighty warriors, they awaken to greater power that dwarfs that of their humble origins. More battle-tested armaments. The bards sing of legendary weapons passed down through countless ages. After thousands of fierce battles and stunning victories, they have acquired power beyond imagining. A sword that can cleave the sun, a spear that can pierce the moon, a dagger that can send all the stars in the sky tumbling down, an axe that can split an earth in twain, a bow that can transfix the heavens, a staff that can call up calamities untold. Of course, these are mere turns of phrase, exaggerations no doubt. Still, very few know the true power of the battle-tested armaments. Why, you ask? Because most of these weapons have long slept in graves beneath the soil. Divine weapons and arm masters. In the times of yore, the gods entrusted humanity with 6 divine weapons so that they could protect themselves from evil. The conqueror's sword, the warlord's spear, the dancer's blade, the lionheart's axe, the hunter's bow, and the spirit lord's staff. It is said that these weapons houses incredible power, and that those who can unlock it will earn themselves the title of arms master. And yet the divine weapons were too mighty for humankind, driven by greed and ambition. The arm masters soon began to quarrel amongst themselves. One by one, these artifacts were lost, and with them the skills and knowledge needed to wield them. Still, there are some who remember. Among those learned few, it is thought that the rightful heirs to the secrets of these weapons still reside in this land, passing their knowledge down through generations of chosen successors. Of course, this is more likely not just an empty fantasy. History of grapes and plums. Grapes, delicious grapes, they heal the body, while the tart juices of the plum revitalizes the spirit. These two restorative fruits are ubiquitous throughout the world, yet there is a darker side to these innocuous seeming treats. According to some myths, their cultivation was forbidden to man by the gods themselves. There are many tales why, but 2 stand out above all else. First is a devilish liquid called liquor, can be easily made from their juices, and the gods do not look with favor on those who drown themselves in drinks. The second most widespread story states that they were prohibited because of how easily they could be turned to use as tools of war. Whichever these myths may be true, it seems that humanity has broken a sacred promise with the divine. Lychee imports. Lychee, a succulent fruit from the outer continent that activates the latent power of an individual. Though its beneficial effects are well documented, it is equally well known for the difficulty of its cultivation. Many talented farmers and merchants have tried their hand at raising crops of lychee over the years, but none of their efforts have borne fruit. Meanwhile, a baseless rumor has made the rounds in the cultivation community. According to some, the lychee must drink the blood of humans to produce its yield. The sinister story has been the cause of many tragedies, as unscrupulous fools seek to write their fortune in the victim's blood because of this. The lychee has earned itself an unpalatable appellation, the vampire fruit. Nut cultivation. Nuts. The fruit of certain trees with a hard shell concealing nutrient-rich meat and seed within. Nuts are enjoyed the world around as foodstuffs. However, not all nuts are created equal. Those harvested from some wild trees have powerful effects that are proven to enhance a human's abilities. Scholars have classified these as rare nuts and have poured sweat and tears into cracking the secrets secrets to cultivating these precious products. Yet little progress has been made. It seems the moment that cultivation is attempted, the nuts lose their special properties. The mystery remains unsolved, and so those nuts remain a highly sought after and prized commodity. On concoction. Concoction is the process by which two or more materials are mixed together to craft medicine. Legend states that it was Dolder the Charitable who bestowed the holy art upon humanity. Yet the truth is more impressive by far. Generations of healers have, through trial and error, discerned the medicinal effects of plants, seeds, stones, and more. They mixed, brewed, and ultimately tested their concoctions upon themselves, a testament of humanity's bravery and sacrifice in its pursuit of knowledge. Concoction, however, is not simply knowledge of ingredients, properties. No, a skilled apothecary must know how to judge a patient's symptoms and measure the correct amounts to treat their ills. As such, any apothecary able to simultaneously mix 3 ingredients is a master of their craft. Any who can mix 4 can be considered a genius, though it is not impossible to mix more than this number. This monumental feat is almost unheard of. Principles of the Soul Stone. Soul Stones are items which, when subjected to a significant enough physical shock, can unleash effects equivalent to certain spells. Though the exact process by which this occurs remains a mystery, it has long been hypothesized that they are stones that have imbued with the power of spirits. Recent studies, however, have given rise to a new theory that has been gaining traction among the learned. According to this theory, soulstones are crystallized remains of a magically potent monster's corpse. If this theory is true, it may become possible for us to artificially mass-produce mighty soulstones in the not-too-distant future. The question then becomes, to what use will we put this power once it is in our hands? Though I am excited by the possibilities, I also find myself terrified of them in equal measure. Herbs and their uses. There are many afflictions which can plague a patient, and each requires a very special herbal remedy. Confusingly enough, the herb used to treat all the standard gamut or garnet of ailments is the same. Herb, weed. These useful herbs' effects can vary greatly depending on how it is prepared. Taken in one sense, it shows how precious this medicinal plant is. Taken in another, it shows just how simple the human body's makeup can be. As a side note, herbweed can also be used to add a bit of zest to cuisine. How grand. Not only can it speed someone along the road to recovery, but it can speed them to dinner table as well. Origin of bottling. In the arid desert land of Hinouma, having a good water bottle can mean the difference between life and death. To better store and preserve every last drop of precious liquid, the people poured much effort into perfecting the art of bottle crafting. Among all the types of bottles, those crafted by small Raccoon clan are the finest, manufactured through secret methods. They are unmatched in their lightweight construction and durable frames. Unfortunately for the Raccoon clan, their monopolization of these secrets earned them the ire and jealousy of other clans, eventually sparking a bloody conflict. Nevertheless, With the Rakan clan, what the Rakan clan lacked, military strength they made up for in brutal cunning. The victory became assured after they hit the idea of filling their bottles with poison and flinging them at their enemies. It was thus that the defensive martial art known as bottling was born. Beastling foodways. Beastlings are tenacious hunters known to stalk their quarries for days on end. Their vocation requires not just skills at tracking and felling beasts, though, but at preserving the meat of their prey as well. The earliest developed methods of preservation were simple. Salting and drying are easy and effective. Eventually, however, tired of the same old fare, there were those who sought tastier techniques. Lava steaming, saltwater tenderization, underground fermentation, all of these and more were passed down among the beastlings. And over the centuries, this led to the development of unique culinary cultures. Nowadays, in the kitchens of New Delsta's most fashionable bistros, famed chefs find inspiration in the beastlings' innovative methods. Etymology of leaf as currency name. Herbweed, a miraculous plant required to craft every variety of healing herb, is discovered revolutionized medicine and has saved innumerable lives, earning it the epithet, the plant of the gods. Unfortunately, herb is notoriously difficult to cultivate. It only grows natively in a few limited regions. Because of this, as the apothecary art advanced, so too did the value and rarity of this irreplaceable ingredient. Eventually, it caused the price to spiral out of control. To curb this growing problem, various lands put ministers or lords in charge of overseeing herbweed production and trade. And soon the price of each precious leaf was fixed. This stability eventually led merchants, commoners, and nobles alike to begin using leaves in place of other currencies. Disputable though this is, it is widely believed that the origin of leaf as common parents for currency originates from this time. History of Hinuuma, however, southwest Cilicia, where the desert sands stretch as far as eye can see, and yet hidden among the barren dunes is an oasis, a strip of semi-arid terrain running north and south along the river lands. Here the soil is fertile, and barley and corn can be grown in relative abundance. Countless wars have been waged over water and resources of the region, and not a few kingdoms have risen and fallen in this place over the centuries. There's also here that legends of priestess Kagura, the conjurer goddess, have survived and been passed down. It is those tales that lend the land its name, Hinuuma. In the eye of the desert sits Sai, fortress city, once known as the Orochi Bastion. Once held by the fortress of Yu, it was taken by Ku 2 decades ago. Northwest of this can be found Ryu, a well-known traveler stop where information from all across the world eventually settles. You might be surprised that many blistering short names like Ku and Yu are common to the desert regions. Locals say the propensity for brevity is because the longer the mouth flaps, the more sand finds its way in. But the truth is the matter is unknown. History of the Wildlands. Northwest Cilicia is a barren wasteland, a blasted expanse of volcanic rock that resists even the loneliest blade of grass. The few brave souls who out their existence here have long suffered the sulfuric whims of Flatsuro and its unstable neighbors. And yet life always finds a way. Among the rock and stone dwell the goat, an unusually large breed of goat who subsist on a meager fare of local weed. Unlike other goats, they exceed bovines in their capacity for producing milk. Grow fleece more suitable for cloth than sheep. They even produce extraordinarily flavorful meat, as well in all matters of livestock. They outstrip the competition and so become known as the jewels of the wastelands. The cheese produced from their milk is exceptionally scrumptious and has become a local specialty. As a final note, the volcanic soil conceals a wealth of valuable minerals. Many small mining towns have sprung up here, including the southern town of Orush, established by silver merchants Pap and Rock. History of the Leaflands. Western Celestia is home to the small lakeside kingdom of Timberain, surrounded by great sweeps of verdant forest. This land is rich in natural resources, thick woodland, lorne provides lorne or lom, I'm not sure. It's like they're like too close together. If it's an R and an N, it's just hard to know. Provides fertile ground for agriculture and the seemingly inexhaustible supply of trees fuels industries such as lumber and paper manufacturing. Small Village of Cropdale is famous for its raspberries and peaches, and its fruit pies are widely known to be exceptionally scrumptious. That being said, this rural settlement has an abundance of peach-centric cuisine, peach jam, peach juice, peach salad, peach soup, sautéed peach, fried peach, peach pilaf, steamed peach, to name just a few. Some might say Cropdale has an overabundance of peach dishes, but that's simply because the locals just can't decide on a favorite. In the south of the area, one can find the town of Wellgrove, though it has grown wealthy through a brisk trade with the resource-poor desert regions further south. The disparity in wealth this has created is a seed for ceaseless conflict and turmoil among the border. History of the Harborlands. Southern Celestia is home to long tracts of twisting coastline along which one can find the bustling port of Candlebrine. In the age of exploration, roughly 100 years ago, ships launched from this town's piers would discover the sea routes that led to the eastern continent. Candlebrine's symbol is its colossal lighthouse, which guides ships from all corners of the world safely to its harbor, erected roughly 20 years ago by a cadre of engineers who fled the destruction of the U. It boasts a unique design. Special ore was polished to a mirror sheen and fashioned into a reflector plate, and the light it emits can supposedly be seen all the way to New Delsta. Today, Candlebrine's Church is an important launching point for and evangelists who come from the Eastern continent to spread the teachings of the sacred flame. History of Totohaha. Southeastern Celestia is dominated by an ocean dotted by countless islands of all shapes and sizes. Largest of these is Totohaha, which was first encountered by continental pioneers 20 years ago. In its western reaches resides the Beastlings, a petite people with fluffy tails. On the east of Totohaha lies the town of Tropu Hapu, which was established by the first continental pioneers to settle on the island. The harbor town's proximity to New Delsta caused it to be developed as a resort for the wealthy. In addition, provides many luxury goods. This is listed coffee beans and now serves as an important stop on the trade routes between eastern and western continents. Since ancient times, the Beastlings have long referred to the northern of the two islands as Haha, the southern as Toto. However, every since a local festival celebrating the bonds of family and the prosperity of the entire Beastling race was established, the names of both islands have been combined into one, Toto Haha. History of the Brightlands. Eastern Celestia is an urban region home to continent's largest city, blessed by warm sunshine and a pleasant climate. It soon became known as the Brightlands. Agricultural abundance caused the region to flourish, and people flocked here in droves. Wealth soon followed, and development soon after. For long, buildings like theaters and game parlors were erected and entertained the ever-growing crowds, and now the light of civilization shines as bright here as the sun does overhead. At the center of all of this lies the Brightlands, beating heart, New Delsta. Established approximately 50 years ago by it's not really immigrants, emigrants from the former kingdom of Delstash. The people gave this new home a name that honored their old. Finally, in the east of these lands can be found Clockbank, an industrial center that has prospered ever since the age of discovery. Got 3 more left. History of the Crestlands. Northeast Celestia, a land of mountains and hills. Perched high atop one stony peak, rises Elfric Cathedral, the center of the Sacred Flame faith. Adherents of this religion, tenants have worshipped the Sacred Flame that the cathedral houses since time immemorial. An ancient record dated 1500 years ago makes mention of the Sacred Flame's veneration continuing since the misty days of the past, even though the bitterly cold winter a century previous, the flame continued to warm the hearts and souls of all who visited in both name and spirit. Sacred Flame and its church are the divine lords of this land. At the base of the cathedral lies the small town of Flame Church. Though its population is small, townsfolk make a good living providing for the crowds of pilgrims who travel here to visit the cathedral. History of the Winterlands. Northern Celestia is a frozen place of snow and ice. Its capital is Stormhail, a mountainous city that houses the Sacred Guard. Established roughly 380 years ago. The Sacred Guard was the brainchild of Archbishop Kincheer. After the cold snap that assailed the eastern continent in the previous century, the order established its headquarters here. To this day, the holy organization's history remains unchanged to uphold law and order across the continent. It said that Stormhail owes its existence to its guardian, Glycis, residing on the sacred peak, Altahi. It is thought that Glycis put an end to the cold snap and nearly spelled doom for all who lived here. Travel towards the coast and you will find the fishing town of Cape Cold. Hold on 1 second. Great hauls of salmon, trout, mackerel, squid, and more are brought in almost daily. In addition, many who dwell here work in agriculture or textiles, and lately a hardy species of cold-resistant barley has caused quite a stir. Here are the Winterlands. Northern Celestia was a place of snow and ice. Its capital is Stormhill, a mountainous city that houses the sacred guard, established roughly... Didn't I already read this? Yeah, I already read this. So I just read. The Outer Continent. This is the last one. The farthest edges of the four corners of Celestia are detailed on no maps, called the Outer Continent. The reasons why these vast structures or vast stretches remain unexplored are many, impassably high mountains and deadly currents. To name a few, of course, in my opinion, is less the difficulty of the task and more indolence that has left these areas uncharted. Think about it for a moment. Ku is at war with some unnamed kingdom, or kingdoms, to its south. Immigrants What was this saying? Immigrants earlier. Immigrants from some unknown eastern locale walk the streets of New Delta. Fruit from the west and textiles from the north are smuggled into our lands with abandon. The unknown is a place of magical appeal to me. What sights are there to be seen across the horizon? What strange music? What surprising smells? What fascinating spices and cuisine to tempt the taste buds? All of these draw my curiosity, but more than that, all offer unimaginable opportunities for a merchant with business savvy and a healthy wanderlust. I hope the leaders of our lands move quickly to pen maps of these mysterious lands in the Outer Continent. Outer Continent, a poor name for a universe of possibility. We are prisoners in a tiny cave called Celestia, satisfied by shadows cast by a light and streams in from outside the walls which confine us. And there we go. We read the whole entire... what was this called again? Yeah, Mercantile Manuscript. It's a lot of information about the lore. A lot of lore. Before ending the episode, let's go ahead and steal from this guy. Masood, once a famed merchant who traveled both continents at the time, both land and sea routes were yet underdeveloped, so it was no small feat to visit all 8 regions. His efforts earned him the repute of a great merchant, but he lost much in the process. Alright. That was a lot to read. It took me almost 35 minutes to read all that, but I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode, where we'll complete more Scent of Commerce. Later.